Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a Landsknecht Emporium Gunther Messer. This one's got a long back edge to it. This one is got the beechwood grip. There was some specs, up close looks, and a little bit of cut testing with this Messer. All right, first impressions on this one. I've been doing a couple of the Landsknecht Emporium swords. Couldn't really call them swords, but they're Messers. Messers is something, or is a category of longer knife that they really specialize in. And they want these to be as historically accurate as possible to, you know, you're going to see little tool marks on the peen of the pommel and the way that the nail is put together. You could tell that humans put these together, and I like that. They're kind of like more smaller batch. So it makes them all, every single one of them becomes really unique. Let's talk about some features that I really like on this one. I like that this is a full tang. This is a full tang, single piece of steel. The beechwood grip has two slabs, one on each side obviously, and then milled out, so that way that's taking out excess weight, and it's just a really nice unique feature to that. We have the nail, which is signature to Messers, to protect that on the outside of the hand, so when you are in thrust positions or you're in different parry positions, protecting the outside of the center and making sure that things like draw cuts and ricochets of the blade, it can help with making sure that doesn't smash you or chop your hand off, so it's just good. So it's a small amount of hand protection, but it is still there, and it's something signature that you will see on some Messers, but maybe not all of them. Some of them will also have like a knuckle guard, which you'll see in the Gunther Messer that I'm also going to review. I don't know when this is going to go up, but that one I also reviewed, and that has a knuckle line to it. I think it has a nail, it might not. I'll leave that in the comments for there below this video. So some features I really like on it is the way this thing flies. So you're gonna see in the cut testing that getting things like 2 cuts for something this large is quite impressive. That comes down to point of balance, the way they put it together, it's really impressive. Something that's unique as well is the clip point. There's a more exaggerated clip point in the Gunther Messer as well, but all the way from the tip, all the way to about right here, this whole section here is sharpened. So that's for a variety of things. That's a variety of draw cuts on the inside and the outside. That's for helping with thrusting and things like that. If you're to miss the thrust, you still have the draw cut. And also for things like close quarter attachments where you can draw cut that into the thrust. Making it very versatile. Can you hold this with 2 hands? You could. You could. It's gonna get kind of weird. So I would actually prefer, rather than going with 2 hands like you would maybe associate with a longsword or katana, it's not really designed for that. I would rather go reinforced bracing through the wrist. If I did want to have a little bit more power and a little bit more follow through with some extra, what's called double force, I'm doubling up that force by bracing the wrist. You could do that, but I would say this handle is just more of a comfy single-handed handle. So saber grip's really really comfortable with it. So going into a saber grip or even a modified saber grip where the thumb is a little bit more diagonal, I find to be really comfortable. If you are someone who likes hammer grip, there's no problem with that, and this will still allow you to present the cutting edge and also perform any type of cutting that you may be doing with this one. I would say things like wrist manipulations, like coming up on like 3 and 4, is a little weird. I could see that coming out for the bind where you can maybe get that cut. But as far as a primary, this thing is a hacker and a chopper, and it's got a lot of meat behind it. Cut testing went great, going through the cutting, going through different combinations, and just really exploring how this Messer moves. It was a lot of fun. I've never had a problem with LE's edges at all, and I'm sure that, you know, thrusting wise, stays in place. So it's really nice when you're working through different thrusts. It stays where it needs to go. If you're going into higher guard positions, if you're changing the position of the hand, you're all good to go with that. The only thing I'll say is this does not come with a scabbard. So when you get this one, it doesn't come with a scabbard, so you'll have to figure that out. You could have a custom one made. Maybe that's something you want to get for a gift for somebody, but it does not come with a scabbard. The Gunther Messer does. It comes with a scabbard and a sword belt. Just make sure you know that before getting this one. So let's look at some specs on this one and also go into the cut testing. This is one of Landsknecht Emporium's most popular Lang's Messer. The Gunther is a Type M3D Messer with a wide blade, ideal for powerful chops and cuts. It's a 6150 high carbon steel blade. The hilt components are also ground freehand from mild steel. Landsknecht Emporium is letting some handwork variants happen in the hilt accessories to not only keep the price manageable, but also give the sword a more authentic, handcrafted appearance at the same time. Talking about the handle and also the nagel or the nail. The nagel is a separate piece peened on the other side of the quillion block, as it should be. The handmade grip slabs of beechwood are affixed to a set of solid brass rivets, which create a robust hilt assembly with the grip and the thick blade tang. At specs, overall length 35 1/8 of an inch, blade length 27 1/16 of an inch, weight is 1 pound, 15.4 ounces. It's very sharp. Width is 52 millimeters. Thickness 4.8 to 2.7 millimeters with a integrated pommel, because there really isn't a pommel, it's just a little hook from the handle. Point of balance is 5 1/4 inches. Grip length 7 3/8 inches. 6150 high carbon steel. Culture is German. Manufactured by Landsknecht Emporium. Okay, let's take a look at cut testing with this one. I already mentioned that in the first impressions, but did really well. Worked some single cuts, obviously, and attack by combinations. Let's take a look. Thanks for joining me for this review of the Gunther Messer from Landsknecht Emporium. I'm trying to work on my pronunciation of the name, but I really like the stuff that they offer with their messers. I have not gotten a hand on the daggers that they offer. Hopefully I'll be able to grab one of those and review it for you and do some slashing and some thrust testing on tatami mats. We finally got a new tatami stand that's actually at a good height, so I can actually cut through the eye line, and it's a way better stand, so I don't have to worry about the thing exploding. I've had 3 or 4 stands break that were a different company, a different quality, and I will not be using those anymore. I'm using this stand because it actually screws together, and it's made of solid wood, not made of some type of weird balsa wood or whatever it was. So anyway, so the cutting is going to be a lot more simple and a lot more direct, and it's going to be a lot more fun. So to pick this one up, click the link in the description below this video to buy this one today. Check out LE's other stuff as well, because they do a lot of unique stuff that I really enjoy, and I will definitely be doing more of their stuff into the near future. Make sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram. I'm your host Tom for Kult of Athena's YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.